often.
You can see the first edition if you go onto that website, YouTube. I'm sure there's something up there from those days.
Oh, I bet there is.
Now, Kenny, you are many things, you did say, and we know that you're an author, you're a photographer, you're a performer, and I didn't put that in any particular order. But I want to dwell on that photography thing because, firstly, I'm going to ask, did you bring your camera this time?
I did bring my camera, and I'm so excited about it because I have a new book called Faces and Places, and it was ready to go, and I said, wait a minute, I'm going to Australia, give me this 2 weeks to shoot down here, see if I can find anything that's Australian, because it's stuff from Saudi Arabia, from all over Europe, and from Africa, and from China, and as well as in the States, and they're just, I think they're just wonderfully spectacular photos, so I wanted to try to include something from Australia if I could.
So for those who don't know, the books that you have put out, are they theme-based? I mean, you have photographed presidents and film stars. Do you just what do you want in a book of photography? What do you think should be there?
And the first book I did was called America, and it's like pictures of landscapes around the United States. And the second book was called Your Friends and Mine, and it was Michael Jackson, Elizabeth Taylor, 3 presidents of the United States, and every major celebrity and star that was around in that period of time, somewhere around the 80s. And then the next one I did was in the 90s, and it's called This Is My Country, and it's all country music artists, and it's a great, varied selection of people who are responsible for country music being where it is, and contemporary stars even today. So this new one is called Faces and Places.
So here, you've only just arrived. You've done one show. You're about to do another one. And are you looking at the faces of fans or faces of Australians? Or
no, what I really want to do is find something as obvious as this is, as the Perth Opera House, because when you do that, that says Australia.
Okay.
So then, but I'm looking around for something. Maybe we may try to go out in the outback and shoot some kangaroo if we can find them, something like that. Because when I was in Africa, we went to a Maasai village, and we shot pictures of the warriors, and there's no question that's Africa. So to shoot pictures, we looked yesterday, we saw some beautiful trees, but I thought, well, they've got those in Florida, so I don't see any point in shooting those. So I'm trying to shoot things that will tell you where you are, because I want to do this in sections. I'll have a section on Africa, a section on China, a section on Europe, and I'd love to have a little section on Australia.
Well, you'd be the worst talent to go and have promotional photographs taken, wouldn't you? You'd be telling the blokes what to do.
Oh, I do. I tell them you get 3 shots because I've only got 3 looks in my life. So shoot those. Anything other than that, we're wasting my time and yours.
Okay. So one final question on that: have you embraced the new technology in photography?
Oh, sure. That's all I do is digital now.
Okay.
They've got cameras now that are so sophisticated that, to go back to film as purist as I was when I started, I love digital because you get immediate results, immediate response, and you can tweak it so much so easily, and you can't do that with film. So you can make it much more dramatic.
Kenny Rogers, my very special guest, only for a little while longer. A couple more songs to go, and back after this one.
On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns of staring out the window at the darkness till boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. Time enough for counting when the deal is done.
There it was. I promised we'd play The Gambler, Kenny Rogers, from quite a few years ago. But it's one of those songs that, we played it on the show last week and people were just singing along. It does have that thing that itches your brain, doesn't it, Kenny?
When I was a kid, there was a song that was very popular called On Top of Old Smoky. And it was one of those that every time you heard it, I defy you not to sing it, and that's kind of where The Gambler is. It's, and it's such a great philosophy. It's not really about gambling so much as it is about a way to live your life and being aware of the ups and downs of things and protecting yourself from them. So I think all great songs have multiple messages to them.
Well, on that, the way of living your life, you are a father again, and your life is shared by twins, and they're quite young. How old are they now?
They're
4
years old.
But so how does Kenny at 70 handle 4-year-old enthusiasm?
I mean, that's hard hard work. You think performing is hard work, but you know it's so honest and it's so sincere, it's so real, and their kind of love just goes so deep. You know, they are the only reason. You know, my wife is younger than I am. And the only reason we decided we weren't going to have kids when we got married because of my age. And then I felt that it was really wrong to deprive her of her childbearing years. And because I didn't want her to wake up one day and say, I'm sorry I married him because I could have had kids now. So we decided to do this, but I don't think either one of us thought in terms of twins. But the more we think about it, we were just saying last night here that we were just saying that we're so glad they have each other because when we leave, it's so much less traumatic for them. But they're just wonderful kids and wonderful boys. I'm sure all parents feel that.
Kenny Rogers, mate, thank you for coming back to Australia. Thanks for being with us around Australia tonight on Saturday Night Country.
Thank you so much for having me, and come see me if you get a chance.
Lady, I'm your knight in shining armor, and I love you. You have made